Amazing. Okay. So the basics. This is something you are all likely already measuring, right? You're thinking about the basic stuff. What's the total dollars in terms of revenue that I'm bringing into the business in a year? What is my response rate? What is my time to completion? And then win rates. So whether you're doing that based on a number, a fraction, or based on a percentage. Basic stuff, valuable in terms of giving a quantifiable baseline, but we can do better. So let's flip ahead to the next one. And we're going to talk about how you can start to talk about value-based storytelling. Okay. So setting new metrics. These are especially great if you are in a new role, if you are new to your role, or if you have just entered a new transition period. So let's say you're looking to change your response process. If the team is restructuring, if anything significant is changing in the business, it's a great opportunity to set some new metrics. So let's talk about baselines. You need to resist your urge to jump in. I know we all want to do it. I am currently backfilling for our proposal manager who is on PTO this week, and there's 6 projects in flight. And it took everything in me not to 8 o'clock this morning, just be spamming everyone on Slack, working through my tool, doing all the things. Set your baselines. So in order to be able to evaluate your ROI for the business, so the return on investment that the business is getting from you, you need to establish some new baseline metrics. Make sure that you sample and collect the average time spent for your key stakeholders to really establish what is the current cost to the business for each response today. Okay. And what that can look like is a simple Google form or something different where you reach out to your standard SMEs and you say, hey, on average, how many hours do you spend to complete an RFP, a security questionnaire? Get that sample data, then it's as easy as you can multiply that across the volume that you know is happening in a month. Really, really simple math. It will give you a good baseline of the cost to the business that you may not see today, okay? And then align your milestones. So once you have your baselines, identify the current opportunities based on the scope of your role and set your milestones for impact. So what this should look like is 30, 60, 90, 6 months, and 12 months. And things that you want to take into consideration if you have a tool at your disposal are things like how you're going to weave in, freshness of your content based on review cycles, for example, or your automation scores. Okay. You want to have a friend who has a voice in the revenue team. I oversee the proposal response function at my current organization, and part of my monthly dashboard that reports on multiple functions to the business is a section solely dedicated to sales response. And so it is a standard scorecard. I'm going to show you a little bit of what that can start to look like, but it is critical that you are positioned as a seller within the business, not an asterisk on a deal that gets won by an account executive or anybody else, but you are a valuable resource that is bringing in revenue. You are not the tool, you are a team member, and that's really important, okay? So the above and beyond stuff. An often untapped opportunity that I see is looking at the other opportunities within the business. If you're a proposal manager, you're working with InfoSec, you're working with product, you're working with customer success, you're working with AEs, you're working with any number of resources. You have a very unique opportunity to provide insight to senior leadership on some processes or things that are happening in the business that could be optimized. When you talk about the value that you can add to the business, being able to say, hey, not sure if you realized over in product, they have this great way of updating their documentation, XYZ. That would be super valuable for product marketing to look to leverage. I could help share some of those best practices with you. That is going to help you gain alliances across the business. It's also going to help demonstrate some more value for you. So when you're setting your new metrics, set your baseline, align your milestones. And again, 30, 60, 90, 6 months, 12 months, and make sure you've got some of that above and beyond content in there so that you can show the broader scope of your impact. Okay, if we can flip ahead